The other thing we're watching is this storm complex through portions of Kansas. It's expected to ride the northern portions of Kansas and throw some more thunderstorm chances into southeastern Nebraska. As you see, we go into this afternoon and evening. The better chance is going to be closer to the Kansas border. You can see by a county or two, closer to Gage County, Nemaha, Richardson counties, those counties south of Lincoln. And depending on this storm cluster, something we're going to be watching for because it may limit what the cold front that's trying to sink south may do in terms of its thunderstorm development through the afternoon and evening. You can see even through 5 o'clock, it's struggling at this point based on one of our latest versions of Stormcast. Meanwhile, this is still producing some pretty good rainfall and heavy rain at that over similar areas in southeast Nebraska into this evening. Now, if this cold front can manage to sink a little bit farther south and this doesn't limit that as much, then we'd see some better chances for some rain into this evening. But you can still see rain still being produced over much of those similar areas, so there will be a better chance for some heavy rain and maybe some instances of flash flooding in those areas that are more susceptible of it down to the south and east of Lincoln. In terms of the severe weather, it's going to be on the lower end of things. We have a marginal risk for just about everyone, including some gusty winds, some hail up to the size of quarters. Can't rule out an isolated tornado, but a low threat at that. It's really going to be the heavy rainfall that I'm going to be watching, especially in this area down to the south and east. This is one of the more optimistic models of stormcasts that take an inch or two, and that's really if we see that cold front able to sweep through some more thunderstorms. But even the Weather Prediction Center at this point highlighting much of southeast Nebraska and that medium risk for instances of some flash flooding. So we'll be watching for some of that through the end of this week. Storms still possible on and off on Friday. June does kick off on Saturday, and you can see Mother Nature gets the hint. We really warm up quickly into the upper 80s and close to 90. Calling it 90 for now on Tuesday, which would be our first 90-degree day of the year. Some storms and more at that possible by then as well before we kind of quiet down through the end of next week.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Jessica. Coming up.